Can't do the killers anymore.
I know.
I could, but we get in trouble.
Stop, Eric.
Evan. Just remove it.
My dog. Eric's chomping at the bit. He wants.
What did he call me? Yo, hey, Eric.
Spring to happen, so we could have bonfires.
Let's go. Somebody texted me. Who?
Not it.
She must have hurt me. Christine's like, I did not roll my eyes.
That's great.
Yes, she does. She rolls her eyes all the time. She loves it when I do my drum.
Oh, yes. And your Macho Man.
That was like her favorite one that I did. She never heard me very used to. Adam Bull. Wow. Let's see. How much longer? You want to let this whole thing just play out? We've got like 20 people. Let's let the people join us. I get started too quick. Whoa.
Oh.
Expert fade. Whoo, just kind of ends. Thank you for joining us. Hey, welcome to the Burning River Browns Talk. It is Friday night. It is 9 p.m. I am here. I am Lou Marconi. Yes, I'm here with my friend and co-host and colleague, Sherry at Browns Fangirl on Twitter, at BudGM on Instagram.
Yes,
well, Twitter,
you nailed
X.
it.
Yes, I nailed it.
Whatever,
I'm Lou Marconi at LMarconi251 on Instagram, at LMarconi1973 on X. And I'm still trying to think. There's got to be a better, because I'm having trouble reading our things here. Let's see. Is this better?
No, if you make us giant again, I'm going to get scared.
Nah, I make you giants. You could do it this way. Yeah. Well, how about this one?
Oh my. Okay, sure. Ah.
No.
Oh no, where'd I go? Oh no. See, this is the one
that's the one you're like, just hey, what's up your nose hairs? Yeah, we'll keep it like this.
My
just playing around.
Clean. Everybody just
playing around. Yep. This is the Burning River Browns Talk on the Fanatical Elves Network, a subsidiary of the Fans First Sports Network. Please like, share, and subscribe. We appreciate it. Hit the notification bell. We'll get all the information from the Fanatical Elves Network. Got a great group of colleagues, great group of guys. Somebody commented on something I posted on X. It was Ethan. And I wanted to get your thoughts on it, but sure. I want to start with the show with that, and I want to comment on what Ethan said. And Ethan's free to have his opinion on this and everything else. I'm just kind of a little bit, hey, still playing around with it.
That.
Why? Yeah, there's got to be another way. Hang on.
Why not circles? I wish there was 2 circles.
Yeah, it looks like the Brady Bunch this way. We'll keep it. We'll keep it. We'll mess with it another time. But I posted today's January 31st, which happens to be my father-in-law's 90th birthday. So happy birthday, Richard. Thank you.
Happy birthday, Richard.
Yep. No, he's 90 years young, and
good for him.
Hey, God bless him. So, so here we are. I wanted to say. I posted a thing about today, 1/31, Hugh Jackson Day.
That was funny. It was clever. I saw it, and then I liked it, and then I kept scrolling because I'm like,
Ethan
I don't want
made
to think about it again.
Ethan made a comment, and I wanted to get your thoughts on what he said. And Ethan, you're free to speak your mind on this and everything else. He's thinking like it was really down and dark and hopeless then. He says he feels more hopeless now. I'm paraphrasing, and I'm not quoting it verbatim.
Oh, no.
And he feels things are more hopeless now than they were back then. And I think that's up here. I think that's mental for all Browns fans, not just Ethan.
Sure.
And if you think that way. But what are your thoughts?
No, I don't feel that way at all. I'm almost done shaking off this past season and the bad feeling, and I'm excited about what's to come. Free
Mhm.
agency and the draft, here we come.
Absolutely. And I think well, somebody said this on the David Bacon show on Cleveland.com. Kenny Rhoda. I don't know if you're familiar with who he is. He was a radio
Mm-mm.
guy on he was at WKNR for years ago, and I think he's still on there. I'm not 100% sure, but he said something very similar that I did, saying the reason why Barry and Stefanski are still in place was because the decision that screwed everything up was the Watson.
Mhm.
That really did.
Oh,
If
there he is.
who Ethan?
Yes.
Yeah, I can't read what he said.
He
It's
said,
just
but back then we knew we were headed all the way down in the complete teardown.
yeah.
And then he wrote, this time we weren't supposed to be this bad. I
I think
see.
it's because we had higher expectations. Okay,
Right.
that makes sense. That makes
Mhm.
sense.
Mhm.
Okay, okay. So all right. Well, Ethan, like I said, you're free to do that. I just think in the NFL, I've heard this saying before: you're never as good as you think you are, but you're never as bad as you think you are. Um. Anyway, my thought on it was what Kenny Rhoda said was because really they completely revamped the offense.
Mhm.
They centered it around this guy that just stunk. I mean, he just sucked. He was terrible
Mhm.
this year.
Mhm.
One thing he didn't do to give credit was he didn't turn the ball over that much, but he didn't move the ball either. So,
Right.
so it's just like that. Um, but no, he didn't throw that many interceptions. He did turn it over with fumbles. So
My quarterback
Kenny
can't
Rhodes,
go to
well, what
oh.
Kenny Rhoda said was that based on what his experience dealing with sports and what like kind of like with mine, what the same thing I said was the reason why they're still here was Hassel made the decision to sign Watson. He wanted it to happen. He jumped
He is Daddy Warbucks after all, so
Jack. He says, "Okay, it's my fault. It's my bad. I'm not going to fire you guys. Here, you fix it. I'm giving you a chance to fix it because I screwed it up. So let's see what they do."
sure.
Now, Amelia was on last week with me, and
Oh
she's
yeah, big
yeah, she,
shout out. Thank you
yeah, yeah,
for
yeah,
Amelia, and thank you, for the checking up on me and what
yeah.
a difference a week makes, let me tell you.
Oh, I'm sure. Hey, Brian.
Hey, Brian.
Thanks. Thank you, Brian. Thank you very much. Okay, so what I wanted to where I was at was that really it is bad, yes,
Mhm.
but how many Pro Bowlers did we send this year? How many
Uh,
Pro Bowlers did we send on the 30 when we went 1-31, if any? I
Joel
know,
Bitonio?
yeah, maybe Miles Garrett his rookie year,
I think so.
maybe, but Batonio made it, Jerry
Mhm.
Jeudy made it.
Mhm.
We have Pro
Oh,
Bowl
Joe Thomas. Yes, thank you, Ethan. Big save.
Joe Thomas. Okay, Joe
Mhm.
Thomas. So
Mhm.
so we had
Sure.
so we had a handful of guys, maybe one or two. We have a lot more Pro Bowlers this year. A lot depends on the team overall health and the health
Mhm.
of the offensive line. I Yeah, I'm going to say they have work to do, but
Oh,
it's going
no
to be
doubt.
interesting to watch them work. So that was my point was they have work to do, and in the next couple of weeks I'm going to have Jack Duffin on again,
Mhm.
and we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the work that they're going to put in, and one of the things that I'm not buying into, and Ethan, feel free to comment on this, Ethan. No, feel free to. Feel free to.
Sure.
I'm not buying this quarterback at number 2 with the second pick,
Hmm.
much less Shador Sanders. I'm saying I think it's a lot of hype right now. It's a lot of talk, which could be that's a good thing. That's my Bernie Sanders. That's a good thing.
Oh no,
That's a
Bernie,
good
you
thing.
got to work on. We'll have a
I got to
workshop
look at my Bernie Sanders.
because you made him sound a little.
A
I don't
little
know.
too.
He has an accent, but I'm not sure where it's from.
That's from New Hampshire. So
Wait, Ethan wants in.
he,
He can enter. Can he enter? Does he have permission to board,
yeah,
Captain?
you come on in.
You can come. You know how to get in, Ethan, right?
Yeah, yeah, we'll make it
Come
look like
on,
the Brady
dude.
Bunch. Do do
Yes,
do do. Come on
he's
in.
all fired up. I could tell. Not only is it Shabbat, but look at all those
Get me on to talk about this. What is it?
explanation points.
Okay, no. You want to talk about Bernie Sanders?
No. sound kind of Asian.
Yeah, Bunny Sanders.
Oh, there you go. They were all yelling this week, but anytime he gets any
do you
airplay,
support this onesie? Do you support this onesie?
that's when I saw the onesie thing killed me. I just thought it was funny.
It was just like he's yelling this and pointing, and like you see Megan Kelly behind him, behind RFK Jr., laughing hysterically. She's like,
Well,
I
you
can't
know
believe-"
what? The only thing that concerned me while watching RFK Jr., did you see Cheryl Hines, her blink rate? I was counting how many times she was blinking like uncontrollably. Like it was
No, I wasn't even
really
paying that close attention to it.
strange. Oh,
No.
dude, if you go back and look at any of it, oh, here he comes. He's coming in hot. There he is. There he is.
Let me at.
Where exactly?
What's up, folks?
Hey,
Hello, good friend.
I just say, man, we got a special guest tonight.
Throw down the gloves. I'm just kidding.
No.
There's
Now, what was
off-gloves.
it you wanted to talk about specifically? Because you commented. We got a special guest tonight. Oh, I'm hearing
I
myself.
hear
Yeah.
us.
I got it. I had to shut. I had my
Oh, yeah.
other
it's cool.
browser open.
How
so I
you
needed to
doing?
shut
How you
that
doing
down.
tonight?
My bad.
Oh, you're
How's
cool.
it going, guys?
Going good. So what is it exactly you wanted to speak about?
All right. So you wanted to say you're not down with the QB at 2, right?
Well, I'm not buying into the hype. Correct.
Okay. But let me ask you this, and this is kind of my theory on it. And again, I don't think there's any one right or wrong way to go about this. But the idea of the Browns passing on a quarterback, and let's say they trade down, they pick up a couple extra picks, they pick up, and let's say the most likely trade partner is maybe the Raiders at 6. Let's say we go to 6 and we pick up I got Mason Graham or
Will Johnson
or Abdul Carter. Great.
Okay.
So what? If we don't have a real quarterback who can move the ball and score points, the defense is going to get their butts kicked again and again and again and again. So
True.
I have no faith
Of
that
course.
a great quarterback is going to do anything more than burn out and flame out like Flacco and Winston. So if we might as well go
Even
out
if it's
swinging.
Cousins or Geno Smith.
No, they'll poop the bed by the end of the season, and it's like I think that even with Kevin's offense,
You could say shit on here.
well, I'll try. Now.
It's Shabbat. He's trying to behave just a little bit.
Dude,
Well, you can't
don't
say
know.
shit on
I
Shabbat.
just watched my
No,
school.
I'm kidding.
I just watched my golden flashes get golden flushed.
Oh,
They got golden flushed by the Zips. They got torched. So
The Akron Zips? Huh.
dig. Well, that's
So,
see,
no,
Megan,
so I
Megan
think
Donovan's happy. She's a zip.
Yeah,
she
that's
is.
her
I
name.
did.
Mhm.
I couldn't get a response. I was like, "Come on, let's go, Kent State. I got to be able to talk some smack with Megan." And I hadn't heard anything. But no, I just think
I haven't
the
heard from
idea
Megan
of-
in a while, but yeah.
if you don't go, I understand that nobody's really sold on these quarterbacks
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
are at the top of the draft board, and I get it. But I think that there's no guarantee you're going to be at the top of the draft. Let's say you did trade down also and you picked up extra draft picks. And if you have a miserable season, first of all, Barry and Stefanski are going to be gonzo. Then you're back at the top of the draft board. And another year wasted for Myles Garrett and Denzel Ward.
Yeah.
Right.
And
If you
Denzel
finish-
Ward.
If
He
you
made
finish
such
middle
a-
of the pack, you're not at the top of the draft board. And in order to get back to the top of the draft
Mhm.
board, get a quarterback because you still don't have one per se.
Mhm.
You're going to have to trade up. And it's not to say that they couldn't get somebody in the third round or second round, third round.
Yeah.
But we've tried that. Like let's see, who can we get late in the third round? What do we get? Like Colt McCoy,
Cody Kessler.
Oh, Cody Kessler.
Cody Kessler. How many guys are we going to pick up like in the middle rounds and that stink?
All right, let me respond because I wasn't completely finished with my thought. I was going to let you know it depends on what they do in free agency. I'm thinking they could draft Shedeur Sanders. They could draft Cam Ward if he's there. It depends on what Tennessee does. I'm not saying. I'm just saying right now at this early in the process, they're making it sound like it's happening. I don't know if they're sold on it yet, and they might be trying to get a trade.
Oh, absolutely. Everyone's blowing smoke.
Yeah, I don't want Jalen Milroy.
Uh,
Oh my God.
Lou, have you heard? Do you listen to ESPN Cleveland? Because they got some guy. This guy. Yeah, it's me, Mr. Hyde. That Jaden Milroy. Jaden Milroy. Now, his name is Jalen Milroy, but he's like Jaden Milroy.
Yeah, Jaden Milroy.
I'm like, dude, who are you talking about, bud? No, I'm not sold on that guy, and I'm not sold on Jackson Butt Dart either.
Butt Dart. Why'd he get that? Why'd he get that prefix? Where'd the butt come from?
Mr. Howard from the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Okay, so in answer to your question, Sherry, Butt Dart comes from something that someone I know said when we were playing like Wii Sports. You know, remember the original Wii Sports? And they said something about a butt dart, and I don't know.
It just stuck? Okay.
Yeah, I figured his name is Dart, butt has to go before it.
All right.
Will Golden Shower Howard? No.
Wow.
Thank you.
Wow.
I honestly like Will Howard and think he could fit very well into Stefanski's offense. He has shown he's got a pretty good arm, not the best arm.
No,
he's
not the best.
Somewhat mobile, although he trips over his clown feet. But I am glad he's able to laugh at himself, at the championship celebration. And he's willing to throw in the tight windows too. He took a lot of chances in that game against Texas where he was thrown into tight windows and anticipating.
He was zipping it in there. Yeah,
he was. And so I wouldn't mind that. I'm just not sure that he's the guy who I would kind of look to the future with. What about, would you go, and this is something I threw out there online on Twitter, would you try the 2 quarterback approach, like drafting 2 quarterbacks a la Washington? Take like Shedeur or Cam at 2 and someone like Howard in the 3rd or 4th.
Mm-hmm.
Just a thought.
I'm cool with Howard in the 3rd. I'm cool with that. Yeah. Let me see. Equally unimportant, you can't miss with the number 2 pick on a QB. Yeah, I think everybody's worried about missing on the QB.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what's the famous saying? You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Right.
What is Myles Garrett done? How well have we done? Myles Garrett, number 1, he's going to be a Hall of Famer.
Mm-hmm.
Number 1 overall. And the thing was, Baker Mayfield, he wasn't horrible, but he wasn't the guy to take us to the Super Bowl.
Right.
And that's what they tried to do. And they
failed miserably.
They went all into the middle of the table and it backfired, unfortunately.
What about this new collection that they're crafting to maybe mold their QB1 with the new QB coach, new offensive coordinator, all coming from the organization that, Kevin's running the boat, and they all know the schemes and everything. They know how he operates. So I feel I'm on board with, I want a QB at number 2. Just because of this circumstance.
Yeah.
So I want somebody developed with these gentlemen. And that's just me.
That's the key question. Can they develop a quarterback? I know Baker.
They haven't had a chance to yet. They haven't had a chance to pick their guy and develop him.
This is their chance.
Yep. Well, let me just play devil's advocate here. They draft Shedeur Sanders and they have a veteran come in like Jacoby Brissett. Okay.
Perfect.
Okay, they have Jacoby Brissett. He's going to start maybe the first month or so. Bring him along slowly. Don't rush him in there. Don't throw him out there. But you're going to kind of see him with training wheels on in this Stefanski offense with the play action, short passes, screen passes, that type of stuff. Then all of a sudden, he's probably having decent games, but he's not putting up huge numbers. Then there's going to be a snippet of something that's going to come out, where Deion Sanders is going to say something. Well, they got to let him throw the ball downfield. You're going to start hearing this stuff.
OBJ's dad 2.0.
Yeah, you're going to start. And I'm not saying that Deion's going to do that. I'm not, because I was hearing the bullshit before, which I didn't believe in at all, that Deion wasn't going to let his kid come play for the Browns. And I didn't believe that because there's no leverage. Like it's not like it's a John Elway Baltimore Colts situation. Elway had all the leverage. He could have went to the USFL. He could have went and played for the Yankees in Major League because I think the Yankees drafted him too, didn't they? Yeah, you're nodding. Yeah, if I remember that correctly. So
I believe
there was,
you're right.
yeah,
Who
there
was
was
the-
there was. What's that?
I was saying, who was the guy for Michigan that the Cowboys drafted, but also got drafted by the Yankees, or maybe that was the person who got drafted by the Yankees?
Oh God, what the hell was his name? Was it Drew Stanton?
No, not Stanton. It wasn't Stanton, but I just can't think of his name right
Yeah,
now.
because he came back and everybody took a look at him. We did some quarterback workouts, and he went somewhere, and he really didn't work out in the NFL.
But it's like it's not everybody's going to be able to pull the strings. Drew
Right.
Henson, bingo.
Thank
I was
you.
close.
Hemi got it. Good call. No, I think that
These are crack producer.
Did you hear the and are you? I love how everybody does the following the breadcrumbs thing, where you talk about, first of all, we had the Jaden Milroy,
Jaden Milroy, Jesus Christ.
That's what be forever now. No,
let's draft Dylan Gabriel. We want a midget back there.
Oh no. And that was so. First of all, you had the breadcrumb trail with Milroe and Tommy Reese.
Yeah.
This week, the breadcrumb trail was somebody did Dion like a post, or did Shador like a post? Something where they said that, he says that he wouldn't mind him going to Cleveland. Then there was the old interview they drug up from CBS Sports where Dion was talking about
10 years ago.
His favorite Super Bowl moment with Bill Musgrave.
Yes, I saw that.
So they're just trying to connect the dots.
Yes.
It's all stories. It's all it's a lot of
bullshit.
smoke.
It's all bullshit.
It is. It really is. I was really thinking, I need to get myself a hacker to break into some emails and maybe just monitor these things and really find out what's going on.
Well, speaking of which, I did hear the news that they're going to be remaking an 80s sitcom, but it's going to be all midgets.
Oh.
Yeah, it's going to be called Three Feet Company. Come and knock on our door.
Nice.
Where's Larry? Come on, Larry.
Does he get to be regular sized?
Yes, Larry. So will Mr. Furley. We'll dig up Don Knotts. So I had to throw that in there. I gotta throw in midget. What kind of a show would this be if we didn't have a midget joke?
Well, we get to toss them around.
Well, they get mad. They get mad when you call them midgets.
Oh yeah, is it one of their shortcomings?
Yes.
Yeah. They get ornery.
I said, all right, I'll just call them short fucks. Well, we're going off the rails with this, like Kyler Murray back there with him and Dylan Gabriel.
Well, maybe they'll give them a little bit like stilt shoes.
Did you see like the big story about Jaden Milroy? Jalen Milroy was the size of his hands.
His hands, and like his thumb is like, bent.
Well, this is a good segue because I reached out to a colleague with the Steel Curtain Network, and because I was hearing these rumors, I saw a couple pods where the Steelers are like in love with Milroy. That's what, and I said, "Is that true?" And they said, "That's what I'm hearing."
They like weird-handed quarterbacks.
They like the Kenny Pickett
tiny kitten mitten.
They're like the Kenny Pickett commercial when he's eating the Whopper with these tiny hands. But they also said this too, that they see George Pickens getting traded, which he's a pain in the ass. I could see them getting rid of him. And TJ Watt getting traded, which I didn't believe that.
I don't believe that for a minute.
No, you're just shaking your head. That's like, because I said that's interesting because our GM pretty much put the kibosh on. No, Myles Garrett's not going anywhere. That's another thing. Have you noticed that too? How this leadership of this team's completely different from a year ago, where it's like Kevin Stefanski, I'm calling the plays and I reserve the right to change my mind. Can we ask what? No.
I like that he did that. I was proud of him for doing that.
He pretty much gave him the finger and left. He's like, "Fuck you, I'm leaving."
Good for him. Mic drop, Kevin.
Yeah, but the same thing with Barry. He just he's not going anywhere. Stop it. Don't even try it. No, we're not doing this. So, but go ahead, Ethan. I just realized something. What we got here, it's a regular Jubilee.
Oh, Hey,
Okay, go ahead.
no, I mean, I think. What do you think about? I mean, there are other quarterbacks that they're
And you're
talking about.
always welcome to come on the show, dude. Anytime.
Oh, well,
Absolutely.
thank you. I
Of
appreciate it.
course, brother.
They talk about, hey, what about Kyle McCord? He was real great at Syracuse this year. Hey,
Fuck
go to
him.
the ACC. It's more like the ASS. No, I don't know. There are a lot of holes to fill for the Browns.
We
this
could go
season.
there. All right.
Oh, hey,
all right.
all
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. And the Steelers are in a bit of a pickle themselves, because I don't think either Fields or Wilson are under contract. Those are just 1-year deals.
Neither's Najee Harris, their running back.
Yeah,
I
they
think
have a way with figuring things out. You know what? It's kind of like a cat. They always land on their feet. I feel like that's the Steelers. They always end up above 500 somehow.
Yeah, the guy that I talked to is Ralph Mitchell was his name, and he says they call him Mediocre Mike Tomlin. They call him Mediocre Mike. 9-8, 10 wins, lose the first game in the playoffs. So they want him gone. And I saw Mike Davis in Dallas is pissed because Brian Schottenheimer was hired as their coach. I'm like, I mean, might give him a chance, but I don't know. But so there's drama everywhere. There's even Cincinnati too. I was seeing stuff about T. Higgins leaving, and Baltimore. Well,
Baltimore.
Yep. Justin Tucker got tucked. So
yikes.
Yeah. That's going to leave a mark.
Yes.
A little bit.
I mean, I know he came out and vehemently
denied it. I saw that.
These allegations are old too.
Yes,
they are. They're older, as I said in my post.
Yes, I saw that.
Technically, and on our group tweet, our group chat, it's like technically Watson pulled a Tucker. Tucker didn't pull a Watson because this all happened before Watson's issues.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Thank you.
But the timeline is. And what do you guys think? I threw this out there. If you're the owner of a franchise, whether it's the NBA, the NFL, whatever, I say to my players, you're done. No, you're not going to any massages. You're going to get that. We will hire a
in-house
male masseuse.
Well, nowadays you don't know what,
But it doesn't matter. The chances of if you looked at it like a risk assessment.
Sure.
True.
What are the chances of an you know what I mean? Like, I think it's a little bit less. Like, the guy's gonna be like, man, it's kind of like with George and Seinfeld.
It might have moved.
It moved.
I was thinking that too. You read my mind.
And these guys are like, I don't want it to move. They're gonna be like, please don't go down that area. Just.
And Jay Crawford proposed on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show about having
proposed to Adam the Bull.
No. No, what he was saying that it would just, be in-house. Each franchise would have their own team of massage therapists that would deal with, the players, and they would have, he went a little more down the security line with installing cameras and having them go to some sort of secure server to where, after, I guess, each season, the footage would be deleted, but just to have evidence if any allegations came up, because why not safeguard your organization against things like that, and it did make sense. I mean, why not? I mean, because it's all these spas and Instagram models and, either story that, it leads to these situations that are not professional.
And they would hire a bunch of big Russian guys with hairy knuckles.
Exactly. They're good at, pulverizing the ATP and the muscles and loosen them up.
I am Victor. I give you a massage you like.
Exactly.
Yes, I have to make very hard bread with crust to ruin your mouth gums. They cause massive cuts and scrapes.
Afterwards, we'll have Borscht and vodka.
Exactly. They're all
it's me, Borat.
Oh, God, now you're doing Borat.
Yes, exactly.
It's the hunting of the Jew.
Oh, God.
Throw the Jew. Oh.
Holy crap. Okay. Oh, goodness.
Yes. So
See, I text her jokes while she's on her show, Breezy Brownstock. I know sometimes I know when
I'm
she
like,
sees it because she starts laughing.
I'm like,
Mm.
but
Oh, boy.
to safeguard your organization, and you don't have to get the umbrella company involved. You don't have to get the NFL involved, and their lady Sue, who's going to be going through all these details again. And
They could hire Caitlyn Jenner.
Hi.
Big hands.
Bird. Wait, it'll be like, did you guys ever listen to when Howard Stern would have Nicole Bass on?
I met Nicole Bass at ECW when I was in Philadelphia wrestling. Jesus, was she ugly? Oh my God.
wow, I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to
She was
Google
very
this
nice. She
lady.
was very nice to us. She was very cool. She was nice, but it was just like, yeah, I don't think she's alive, is she? I think
No, she sadly passed away a
a
few
lot of
years
those
ago.
people have.
Who
Yeah,
was she?
she was one of the was it the Whack Pack on Howard Stern?
Oh,
They
okay.
did make her a whack packer, yes. And Fred would say, "Hi, oh my balls," like
Yeah.
kind of high voice, and they said that Robin had to go into the dressing room. It's like, what did you see in there, Robin? I don't know what I saw. It was a
I
whole
love
thing.
Robin so much.
Oh,
It
God.
was fantastic.
Oh.
Beetlejuice. Oh no.
Oh, Beetlejuice!
Beetlejuice.
My God, was he
He's still alive.
Yeah,
fantastic?
we at a
He's not
job I had.
alive.
They were doing a drawing, like for prizes and stuff in a box. So I drew in like I made up names and started putting them in the box. And one of them was Hank the Angry Drunken Dwarf, just to make the boss announce it.
Yes.
He looked at this and he went, "Is there a Hank the Angry Drunken Dwarf here?"
You're like, present. Present.
People just started laughing.
I'm
It was just like,
fucking footage, you asswipe.
you call me a midget, I'll kick your ass. I'm a dwarf. He gets all mad.
Yeah, and he was great at trivia.
Really?
Rock and roll trivia.
Yes, he beat
especially-
Gary.
No way.
He knew his
Baba
stuff.
Booey?
He
Damn.
he knew his stuff. Yeah, I remember that when it's back when it was on E before Howard Stern became a tool. When the show was fun. Yeah,
Before he became a tool.
Yeah, we
Sure.
kind of derailed this conversation. We went from talking quarterbacks to Howard Stern.
It's all relevant.
happens.
It's all relevant.
Oh, we went to midgets too, so it's okay.
That's, one causing the other.
Yeah, it kind of does. But if to kind of bring it back, people like you said, like people in our division have their drama as well, not just the Browns.
Absolutely.
I was just saying my theory is that the decision to sign Watson and put all the chips in the table like that was Jimmy Haslam's, because that's why Barry and Stefanski are still here. So you agree with me on that, Ethan?
Oh,
Okay.
100%. And if you read Jason Lloyd's article, I mean,
Yes.
he basically said as much that, it seems like it might have been something, if I remember correctly, when he wrote that, it sounded as if it was something that maybe Barry, or actually, I know what it was. Lloyd said on UCSS that he said, and this is my opinion. This is what Jason said. He said, this is my opinion. He thought basically Barry went with the idea. And at a certain point when they declined or why they said no, and it was getting expensive, at that point is when Haslam said, no, whatever it takes, get it done. So it kind of went from Barry, Stefanski, all them doing this research on it.
On the analytics to it.
Right. And getting
they were like, we don't like this. This doesn't look
right. This deal is not good. We shouldn't. And he's like, no, do it.
He overrode it. And he's the owner. It's his team.
It's what he wanted.
Exactly. So,
and they're like,
I mean,
right.
yeah, I know there are people out there who don't seem to understand what logically we're saying. And I'm baffled.
Sure.
In what way? Meaning that
you and I, we're saying we're on the same page. That
what are they saying? Yeah, go
they're
ahead.
They're saying they don't believe that it was just a Haslam thing. They think it was a Barry. They blame. They
would be fired if it was their decision. They'd be fired if they talked the owner into it. They'd be gone.
Well, there are people out there. Believe it or not, sadly, there are people out there. There are people out there who go, how is it they aren't fired? 3-14. How are you not fired? You suck. You stink. You didn't have You had a piece of you had a
Garbage
turd.
quarterback, garbage quarterback. Yeah.
How were you supposed to operate when you were completely handcuffed and the last move you made to try and make it work was you abandoned your
Everything.
entire offense just to suit this clown, and it wasn't working. And then gets injured again, and he stunk even then. We were sticking with him because we were stuck, and we still are with the money, but now at least we're at the top of the draft, and that's where getting a quarterback on a rookie contract can be beneficial.
And brought down the morale of the entire locker room, bringing...
That's what they said, yeah.
It was like a dark cloud, and then
Yes.
I hate to say it, and I don't mean to say it this way, but sometimes things have a way of working themselves out, and that injury that happened and the re-injuring of it, it's almost like, he's not even going to be around. Let's just move on. June 1st, 2026, we'll cut him, take the hit. I don't think they're going to try to get out of paying him the $92 million. I don't think that's going to happen. The union, that would go to court. It'd be litigated. It'd be ugly. The union would fight it. So that I don't think that's going to happen. But here's a scenario I want to just say, like they stay at 2, they pick, say, like Abdul Carter. Okay, great. We got the guy opposite Myles Garrett. The draft keeps going. They get the pick 32. The winner of the Super Bowl is picking. We have 33. We call them up. We move up one spot. We draft a quarterback and get a 5-year rookie contract on. You're not that could happen. And it could be a guy like not necessarily Butt Dart or Milroy or
Great. That's what we're going to be.
I mean, it could be a Will Howard type.
Let's talk about who the main suspects are.
I think before we do, I think we should take a quick break.
I think that's a great idea.
Let's go ahead and take a break from our sponsors right now. How about them sponsors? Thanks for staying with us. And hey, check out the sponsor of the show and the details of the show, Hemisphere Coffee Roasters. Click on the link, order up some good coffee. It's a company out of Columbus, Ohio. Great coffee. All right. Now, what you want to talk about? Who are the usual suspects, the main people at quarterback?
So let's talk about who we're looking at in terms of the actual quarterback. So we're talking about Cam Ward, Shedeur Sanders are the top 2. The next level is Milroe and Jackson Dart. And then you start talking about, we haven't even talked about Quinn Ewers and Will Howard.
Is Quinn Ewers going off for the draft, or did he go back to?
No, he's coming for the draft. Carson Beck transferred because he stunk so bad and was injured. He's going to Miami. Because if you remember at the beginning of the year, he was like near the top, one of the big prospects, and then he just stunk up the joint. And then you've got Dylan Gabriel. You've got the dude, Tyler Shuck, I guess is how you pronounce his name. I think from Louisville. And then there's even Curtis Rourke from Indiana. Guy. But he's going to be coming off of an injury. And I don't think he's over, that great either. I think if you end up if you are going to try to sneak back in, it would seem it's going to be the next logical group is either going to be Milroe or Dart, I think, are the next quarterbacks in line to get drafted, followed very closely probably by Howard and Ewers, McCord. So, but you're right, Lou. That's an absolute possibility, and that's what a lot of teams do to get that extra year because Jalen Hurts is a second-round quarterback.
Yeah.
Am I remembering this correctly, Lou? He's a second-round quarterback, right?
Second-round pick. And
they only had 4 years of control on him.
Yeah, he's not a top. He's not like an elite level quarterback, but he's good.
What they did is, and this is where you're going, and I think this is where kind of to the people who are saying don't draft him, the player, reach for a quarterback at 2. You have to have the right people, players, coaches around them, and build the system to get to that. And a lot of people are also going to look at what happened the past 2 seasons with the quarterbacks who were selected at number 2 overall. They're going to look at CJ Stroud, and then they're going to look at Jaden Daniels. And we're Cleveland fans are going, well, look, they did it. Why can't we do it? And I don't think there's any reason we can't.
True. I'm not saying Shedeur Sanders can't be successful in Cleveland. I'm not saying he can't. I'm not saying he won't. If they draft him, I want him to be successful.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Absolutely, and that's where I'm at with it. But there's a lot of different ways they could do this. How many it did if they get the compensatory
Compensatory,
picks? Yes, yeah, I spit it out eventually. I think I think they're going to end up with 11 picks.
11 or 12.
11 or 12, yeah, but they don't have the compensatory picks set up yet. But
Right.
that's a lot. They're going to be moving. They're going to trade it back into the. I think they're going to try to have 4 top 100 picks.
I agree. I agree. But I don't want to see them do what they've done in the past. I mean, because think about it, Lou. The year that we drafted Miles, we then got beat out for Mahomes because the Chiefs came up and got him at 10. Then we passed on Watson at
Original.
the time,
Mhm.
and the Texans got him. And we ended up with because he got injured his rookie season and they stunk. That's where we ended up with the 4 pick and got Denzel the next year along with Baker. And then is that the year we ended up with Corey Coleman or some
Corey
other?
Coleman was 2016 draft. Miles Garrett was 2017. Yeah, Corey Coleman was. We traded. That was when we gave up all those picks. We traded out of the second pick because the Eagles traded Carson
Yes, you're
Wentz.
right. You're right.
Yeah.
But we ended up with somebody. Did we get
Cody Kessler?
Barkevius Mingo?
No, Corey Mingo was earlier than that. Corey Coleman. It was Corey Coleman.
Jacob Phillips?
Maybe.
Or maybe Greedy Williams? No, the bottom line is we traded and traded and traded and didn't get anybody.
Mhm.
Right. So what you're saying is like take the guy. Like I said, Bill Musgrave is a very well respected coach.
Yeah.
And so is what's the guy that they Bloomgarden, the guy they brought in.
Yes, the new offense as Gerard Cherry said, he looks like an ass chewer.
Mm.
Because Andy Dickerson looked like Chris Farley. I mean, it didn't work. It wasn't working. And I think keeping Tommy Reese here was a huge get. Very smart.
I think so. Now, okay. Everyone's talking about it, and I'm on it 100% if he's there. We're going to need to reload the tight end room.
Mhm.
I want that Fannin. I want Fannin from BG.
Yeah. Well, I think this is what I heard from my friend at the Orange and Brown Report with Jack Duffin.
Mm-hmm.
What they like to do is address needs in free agency and trades and then draft. And do you think Fannin could be a second round pick?
I think he'll be later than that.
You think he'll be like the top 3rd round pick? We can get him with our top 3rd
maybe
round?
in the third or 4th. I think he'll be later because you look at there's a bunch of tight ends, there's a bunch of running backs. I mean,
we're drafting a running back. I guarantee.
Look, I'm going to be a homer. I would be very happy to have either Travion or Quinshon, but
yeah.
I mean, I would love them, but I think there are a lot of great running backs out there. You don't need to go up and be getting Ashton Genty. It's not the end all be all. What do you guys think about all the hype for Travis Hunter? Is it warranted? Is it not? Is he really going to ultimately change a franchise that's on the crap heap of, like the Browns?
No. I think what happens with us with the 2 pick could be indicative based on what Tennessee does with the 1st pick. And they're probably taking a quarterback because they need one.
Yeah, they can't count on Captain Mayonnaise.
I love his nicknames. I love the nicknames.
I try. I've got a lot of things. That's one of my secret powers is making up nicknames with gobbledygook and nonsense.
That's how I classify mayonnaise.
But he is Captain Mayonnaise. He's the mayonnaise man. I mean, that is what he is. He's got, Captain Khaki Pants out in L.A. coaching. Terry, you know what I'm talking about.
Well, did you want to talk about that? I guess new evidence came out against Michigan. I guess.
Nah.
What's the talk? I guess the thing is this:
it's beating a dead horse. Come on.
It is, but it isn't. And let me ask you guys:
is it relevant to what's going on tonight?
Not really.
No. I want to ask you because you're the smartest Michigan person I know. and I don't know many Michiganites, but
Michiganders.
Michiganderians.
Mhm.
Michiganders. That's what
But
they say
Michiganders.
the
up
biggest
here.
thing
Yeah.
is like,
Oh yeah, don't you know that?
that's more Minnesota.
Mhm,
But
mhm.
that's the way. That's
Minnesota.
Gretchen Whitmer. I'm imitating Gretchen Whitmer, the governor of
Oh.
Michigan.
Oh.
I was doing Bobby's World. Hey, don't you know?
Oh, God.
Ah,
Dude,
great cartoon.
that reminds me
okay.
of
Well,
Howling
let's-
Down. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
mhm.
But my question is this: just is Michigan in trouble? Are they? Did their response essentially acknowledge some of the shenanigans and knowledge of it?
They're not going to lose their championship.
And I'm not, and whatever, but I mean,
No, they're not going to. They're not going to strip the national championship from them. That's not going to happen.
and if they did,
I could see maybe some. I could see some form of punishment happening, but I don't know if it's going to be the hammer. It's not going to be. I don't know how
but
major.
let's just say, in theory, though, if they were wrongly doing whatever, and the uppers of the uppers knew about it and did nothing, that's problematic. And it's kind of funny because, and I guess this is a good part, the fact that they've got all the quotes from like Jim Harbaugh saying, if you're what did he say, like, if you're cheating, you're a loser, or so. He had made comments when he was like a coach at in San Francisco about cheating, and it was funny. People keeping old receipts, the
Mhm.
the cold
That's
tape.
the internet. Things come back to bite you in the ass real hard, don't they?
Sure.
Oh yes, they do.
Oh boy. Well, you're the Michigan person, Sherry. What you say? It's beating a dead horse.
Yes. I think it's irrelevant to tonight's conversation. I
All right.
don't keep up with the nonsense and drama that's come out recently with that because I was looking at Brown's nonsense drama and
Oh.
Well,
hearsay.
that's the internet right there. It's just nonsense and drama.
But hey, Sherry, did you know? And I heard this from this yellow guy. He said, "Ooh, they have the internet on computers now." Did you know
They
that?
do.
Yes.
I just need to get a computer, that's all.
Another delicious memo.
More memos.
Yeah.
But
It's
go
rough
ahead.
out there,
Go
guys.
ahead.
It's really rough out here. Oh God, save Jon Stewart. He's our most important Jew.
Yes.
He's totally not, but that is such a funny line.
Well, isn't that a good line?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm going to set up a scare Jew. All right, yeah.
Yeah, Jew.
Mort's always coming over here borrowing all of my shit.
Right.
I'm going to set up a scare Jew. Peter, you ruined the suit. Oh my God, Hitler, save Jon Stewart. He's our most important Jew.
I wonder why he picked him. So
I thought Mel
I
Brooks would
would've-
be more important.
yeah,
than
I
that.
would have immediately picked Mel Brooks. He's
Yeah.
my
I
number
was watching
one.
Spaceballs about a week ago. Fantastic. Still good.
It is. It still
Still-
holds up.
still
Mhm, mhm.
Ah, it does. It does. I love John Candy. We were talking about,
Aw.
we were talking about planes, trains, and automobiles on my Sunday Stew Pod show. The classic John Candy, that with Steve Martin and John Candy. That movie was so good.
Never
It's-
seen it.
You never seen planes, trains, and automobiles? Okay, you have to watch
No.
it. You have to
I'll have
watch
to
it.
find
You will.
it somewhere.
You can. Oh God, you can find
Streaming
it.
somewhere.
I
I'm sure.
guarantee you. It's Steve
So-
Martin, John Candy, planes, trains. It's a mid '80s movie, right? Like '86.
Gotcha.
It's a little bit later in the 80s, but the best, I mean, so many classic lines from that movie that are so great. And
Yeah.
the John Candy, I mean, that character, he played it so well. I mean, Sherry, as a fan of Family Guy,
Mhm.
you want to hurt me? Okay, go ahead, hurt me. I like me. My family likes me. My customers like me. Random movie quotes.
Gee, I've never seen anybody be like picked up by their testicles before.
You insensitive asshole. The least you can do is help this man up. Sure.
It's just like, it's like, oh yeah, that was when he was the rental car place. I'm not going to repeat what he said, but that was like he was so pissed.
Yeah, you're messing with the wrong guy. I didn't walk across the runway. I want 4 wheels and
Yeah.
a Datsun. Oh no! Oh,
Yeah. You forgot it.
Just so
Yes,
many
that was
amazing
just
scenes. So
a lot of
Sherry,
expletives. Yeah,
it
it's
Oh.
is.
we don't want to ruin it for, but it is Kevin Bacon actually makes an early appearance in the movie.
Wow.
Yes, of
Yes,
course.
Kevin Bacon's in it, and also Michael McKean.
Yes,
He was in it. Who's Lenny
Trooper.
from Lenny and Squiggy? Yeah, he was a
Oh,
state trooper.
okay.
He's in it
Sir,
too.
do you
so-
know how fast you were driving? Actually, I don't. you would know better than I would.
Yeah, he's just. Oh yeah, well, it kind of melted, so we can't see it.
But the radio works. It's better.
They're all bundled up in this car, and it's just like he goes, I can't let you drive this. It's not safe. It's just
Do you think this is safe, sir? I do. I'm sorry, sir. I'm gonna...
yeah. It was like they couldn't let him. You couldn't let him do that.
No.
All
But
right,
Sherry,
we
that's
gotta-
required watching. We're gonna need to have
A full report.
review, a
Oh.
whole Planes, Trains, and Automobiles movie review episode.
Yes.
No.
Let me go ahead and just ask you this. Getting back to the Browns, I know getting off of Michigan now or anything else like that. Thinking along the lines of what they're going to do in draft and free agency and trades, do you see them trading for a veteran or signing a free agent veteran quarterback?
Free agent.
Well,
Signing a free agent. That's my predict.
They could trade for
thought
Geno
bubble.
Smith or
I think it would be too expensive, honestly. I think that in terms of the money they could pay, the best case scenario is I think the Kirk Cousins thing where Atlanta's paying him, kind of like a la Russell Wilson with the Steelers this season.
they're going to cut him. Yeah.
Right. So
Because
that
he's
would
owed
be
$10 million on March 17th. So I heard March 16th he's getting cut.
right. And they're trying to say that's not happening. Oh, it's true. It's true.
Okay. Well, I heard what caused Kirk Cousins to kind of hit the skids this year was more fatigue because he was just coming off that Achilles.
Right.
I'm hearing that, and I'm also hearing that the offense really didn't fit him too well either.
That's correct.
So maybe if he's in better condition and in a better offense, we would take average quarterback play. Average quarterback play would get us 6 wins. With
Right.
this team, 6 or 7 wins. Absolutely.
Yeah, you'd like better than that, but we are in a bit of a pickle. So unless you're going to get a rookie that's going to,
Mhm.
suddenly catch fire, catch lightning in a bottle, you're going to be needing to pick up a veteran who you can hope can sustain. I mean, look at what, God, I can't think of, why can't I think, Sam Darnold did in Minnesota this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you would hope that you could find someone on the cheap, and that maybe is looking to resurrect their career, but we can't. I think trading assets and trying to outbid somebody is not going to happen. We're going to need.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, how about some Flacco fever?
No more Flacco.
Oh, no.
He did. I mean, he played in Indianapolis, and he really didn't light the world on fire there. So
no,
and Baker Mayfield had a very good year, but wins the playoff game. They didn't even win a playoff. They lost to the Washington.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I think that they honestly need
I'm with Steve. Mhm.
one that
There will be enough free agent QBs. Mhm.
I think there will. You need somebody for Kevin who can protect the ball. And that's because if you look at Baker Mayfield's best season, the first year with Kevin, he kind of kept the wraps on him a little bit. It was like 20 touchdowns, 6 picks or something like that. It wasn't that impressive in terms of overall numbers, but
Right.
if you're protecting the ball and you play strong defense, even when we had Joe Woods as the defensive coordinator, you can win games. And they need to do that. The problem with Flacco was high risk, high reward.
Mhm.
Winston is a turnover machine. Then all the other
gunslinger.
things.
Yeah. Were you at the Chiefs game Sherry,
Mm-mm. I
were
don't.
you at the Chiefs game when he threw that interception? There's
I
3
don't think I
Chiefs,
was.
1 receiver, Browns receiver, and I was with Harvey, my friend Harvey, and we're just like, where the hell was he throwing that to? I mean, as soon as he threw it, we're like, no! It's like you just thought it was going to happen.
Slow mo. You see it
And
happen in
that's when he
slow
got
mo.
benched for DTR. He got benched for DTR after that. So
Right, and he really got fortunate even in that game against the Ravens.
yes, I
Only
was
by
there.
the only
We were
by the
there.
grace of Jim Donovan look and this,
Mhm.
shining the light in their receivers' eyes and guys dropping interceptions, did we win that game and he not have any picks?
Right.
Yeah, we could have very easily lost that game. Yep.
Yeah.
And really, the defense had to hold them because I mean, you knew Lamar Jackson was going to drive. You knew the drive was
Yeah.
going to happen. It was just like, and we were able to hold them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I heard one guy complaining the following week when we were playing the Chargers that we scored too soon, and I'm like, you score when you can. I mean, when you talk,
Too soon.
yeah, he's like, we'll have too much time on the clock, and it's like,
Ah.
Well, in essence, though, and in theory, they're not, he's not, or the person is not exactly wrong. It's kind of like the theory with anybody playing the Chiefs and trying to beat them. You can't let Mahomes get the ball last.
true.
Mhm.
You let him get the ball last, you're in trouble probably 9 out of 10 times.
Yep.
So the way to beat them is to not let him be the one to have it last.
Right.
I hear you.
Yeah. It was just the guy just going on. I'm like, okay,
He was a Jag. He was
Yeah.
it was a Jag.
the Jag.
Yeah, it was a Jag.
Mhm.
Just
He was
guy.
a Jag. He was a Jag. Oh boy. So I'm also thinking too, like there's other free agency moves they can make, other trades they can make. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do before the draft because I don't think they're going to draft for needs. I don't because I don't think that's what they like to do. But I could be wrong. But I mean, we do need a quarterback. We need a young quarterback under a rookie contract. That's for sure.
We actually need a lot of guys. That's also the key is whomever
Mhm.
they need to have a home run of a draft because we need a lot of young guys on cheap rookie contracts. We've got a lot of dudes, a lot of money wrapped up in a lot of players that are older.
Mhm.
And that's they figure it out because thankfully Haslam has deep pockets and can spend money up front and restructure these contracts. And we're kicking at, as the famous or, infamous phrase, I don't know, they're kicking the can down the road, but they've got a lot of holes to fill.
Sure.
And they need to hit on their picks and that's one thing that scares me. What do you guys think? I am concerned with Barry's ability to evaluate talent in the draft. Granted, he hasn't had first rounders, other than Jed Wills.
Stop saying that man's name. It's bad. It's bad juju.
No, I worry about his ability to evaluate talent.
I've
in the
heard
draft.
that before. Yeah. I don't know. I'm hoping this first round pick revitalizes, lights a fire under his butt. And
We'll have to see what the
so
collaborative
tuned
thought
in.
partners have to say.
Well, if they think one of these quarterbacks that's available is good enough to pick at the second pick of the draft, they'll draft them. If they don't,
They
won't.
better.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
They better.
yeah, I mean, the most people throw the Jed Wills pick out there.
Well,
And
it
he was
gives me
10th.
the reflux anytime anybody says his name. I can feel
Yeah,
it right
you hear
here.
that. You got that one, and then you have, they don't talk about JOK. They don't talk about Grant Delpit, or there's a lot of good picks that he's made in later rounds too. I mean, there's
that is absolutely. He's actually done better on picks a little bit deeper into the draft. And again, he hasn't had a first rounder in 3
the
years.
Alex Wright, Isaiah McGuire's,
and they're developing. They are definitely developing.
Michael Hall was a good pick too last year, and I think
Yeah,
Zach Zenner's going to be good as well.
If he can keep himself out of trouble, and then he's got to recover from a knee injury, so, unfortunately,
on good behavior.
Yeah, I mean, so I think that it will be, like you said, Lou, very interesting to see what moves they make in the coming weeks in free agency, because that's going to shape a lot of what they need to do in the draft and how they approach it. Do we have a kicker problem?
Well,
I know Hopkins is under contract, but do we have a kicker problem?
Do we have a kicker problem?
I'd get another one.
Yeah, they'll bring in another kicker. Yeah, I think so.
Why is it that the Washington Commanders had every former
Zane
Cleveland Browns on the
Gonzalez.
roster this
Yes,
season.
I saw that.
York,
Yep.
Joseph, Seibert, Gonzalez.
Yep, that's all of them. It's like a bingo card right there. Browns kicker bingo right
Yep.
there. They got them
It
all.
Cade
is.
York, didn't Cade York kick for the Bengals too?
Mm-hmm.
He did,
He
and he
did.
and then didn't he doinked one off. He did a
He
doink,
sure did. Yep.
a major doink, and Gonzalez with the doink in.
Yes, that was wild.
That's what beat the Buccaneers, I think it was, wasn't it?
Yes,
It was a
So,
chip shot.
yeah.
It was a chip shot. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's just crazy how that seems to happen, and I don't know how they get the yips here. I've got a theory on what happened to Dustin this year.
Let's hear.
Dustin Hopkins.
Yeah,
Mhm.
my
Okay, I thought you
theory
said
is
Justin at first. That's why I
Oh,
asked. That's
my
for
bad.
clarification.
My bad.
But no. It's my bad hearing. Go ahead.
My theory on the reason that Dustin Hopkins struggled this year, or at a certain point, the injury to Charlie Hughlett,
Charlie
the long snapper,
Mhm.
the long snapper,
Mhm.
and then we had Rex.
Didn't we lose
Rex
him early in the
Kuhara?
season?
Wait, what did you say, Lou?
Didn't we lose him in the preseason?
No, he was. It wasn't the preseason, but it was pretty early in the year that we lost him. Maybe after the Washington game, I think the 5th game, somewhere around there, I think is when he got injured. So then we had Rex Sunahara, and I think it's his fault. But because if you remember, the thing with Cade York was that it would, and early on this is Corey. It's all Corey Bojorquez's fault. He can't hold
The MVP. Jesus.
They were trying to say that the reason people were missing kicks was because Corey Bojorquez, and then we got rid of Cade York, and Dustin Hopkins was making kicks, so we were able to eliminate that problem. I was just looking, guys. You know who I heard from, and I'm hoping to get him on the podcast? Spencer Lanning.
Sure.
Do you know who Spencer Lanning is, Sherry? He is
I'm
most
going
famous
through
for
the
getting a boot to the
world.
head from Antonio Brown.
Oh,
The punter.
wow.
Yeah.
That guy.
The special teams
Okay.
guy. Yeah.
The
Sure.
punter.
Sure. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Can I interest you in Kevin Hogan? How about some Connor Shaw?
Connor Shaw would be nice.
Yeah, like a little Connor Shaw. How about let's see, Spurgeon Wynn. Would you like Spurgeon Wynn? What you need to do is run down the 40 quarterbacks now that we've seen them, whether they were starters or bench players, and like which ones you would rank or how you would rank them. Like, what do we have? Did we have Thad Lewis? Does that sound right?
Thad Lewis was right. He started the last game of the 2008 season in Pittsburgh.
Right. Bruce Gradkowski.
Yep, that was another one.
I hear for some reason, and I don't know if I've seen a picture of Bruce Gradkowski recently or in the past, but maybe it's just because his name is Bruce. It reminds me of the remake of The Longest Yard. All right, it's Brucey's time. The guy goes.
He can't kick worth the shit. He goes, I know.
Oh boy.
Very ugly onside kick. Yeah.
If you could go, if you could go through that list of quarterbacks and look at it, you're like, okay, so who was really the worst of the worst and the best of the worst? I mean, we've had how many different, I know it's 40, but so many guys are so bad. How about some Seneca Wallace, everybody? Let's go with Charlie Fry.
Let's just take a step. Let's just take a step back here, because what's done is done. You can't change it. So what do we do?
I laugh about it now.
Yeah, I just kind of like, because I remember, like, I was trying to explain to people in 1989 when Cuyahoga County had to vote for a syntax to build what is now Progressive Field and the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse, and the Indians were a joke, an annual joke. Major League came out that year, the very first Major League. They didn't sniff fourth place, and this is when it was AL East, AL West, and bottom every time. They just sucked. They played in that old stadium. It was terrible. And the commissioner came to Cleveland and pretty much said, "You don't build them this new stadium, this new ballpark, we're moving the team." He said that. It
Wow.
passed by a 51-49 margin.
Wow.
Jacobs Field
Razor thin. Jeez.
Jacobs Field opened in 1994.
Yep.
Okay.
And Wayne Kirby walked it off against Seattle on opening day.
Look at that level of success from 94 to 2024, that 30 years of the Cleveland Indians, the division titles, the pennants, with like a whisker of several times winning a World Series, which I think they should have in 95. I thought the umpiring, do you ever hear Kenny Lofton tell those stories of like they're like the strike zone that these pitchers got for Atlanta was ridiculous?
I mean, it was hard enough without the umpires screwing us. And you looked at those pitches and you're like, there's absolutely no way. And I'm going to die on the hill of get me an automated strike zone.
I'm going to die on the hill saying that I think the 95 World Series was fixed.
Okay, I don't know about I don't know.
But anyway,
I mean,
but you understand what I'm saying was,
yeah.
And then I remember because you could give tickets away for free at an Indians game back in the old stadium. Nobody wanted to come. The team sucked. It was a terrible place to go. We used to go there, get dirt cheap tickets, sit wherever we want.
Yep.
Now, then I remember come 95, 96, 97, 98, you couldn't, everybody was coming to the games. Or a bunch of yuppies. And we'd have won the World Series 97. Yeah, the dominant three starters with the strike zone this freaking big. So thanks, Steve. But
Thank you, Steve,
but do you
producer
see my
Steve.
point? Yeah, do you see my point? Was just that maybe getting this place in Brook Park and getting a new place to play could breathe new life into this organization.
I honestly think, so let's play into it. Do you think the site on which the stadium sits is in fact cursed?
I do. I do.
It really is quite possible. I mean, amongst others.
Do you want to know what it's built on?
Yes. Well, I've heard
it's
this.
A landfill.
Yeah.
It's garbage.
Yep.
It was a dump. It was a dump. It was literally the city dump. And they built on that, and there's like the whole stretch, even where Burke Lakefront Airport is. That was all garbage, and it was built on there. Yeah,
all those happy seagulls.
Yeah, well, I mean, just so the stadium where they're at now, it's falling apart. It's a piece of crap. But I'm not sure if you think it's cursed or not. I heard a story too. I think I told this to Lysandra. I said it on this show. You remember Bill Veeck, the owner of the Indians in the late 40s? Yeah, when he sold the team, he took the 1948 World Championship banner and buried it at a ceremony in center field. Okay, somebody that night broke into the stadium and stole the banner. That's the story I heard.
I had not heard that. You know what? We're going to need to.
We need to research that. I would love to. Anybody can research that. I heard that story, which cursed not only the ground but also cursed the Indians for a period of time.
We need to get Hoynesy.
Paul Hoynes on that. Yes.
Get Hoynesy or Pluto.
Anyway, Terry Pluto. He would know. I met Pluto a couple times. Guys, appreciate the show. I mean, is there? We kind of went into cursed ground now.
As we tend to.
Well, honestly, people that are the people that are against the stadium, the same people that are bitching about the stadium, screaming taxpayer money, did the same thing in '89. Team stinks. Why do we do this? They did the same thing in '89 about the Indians. I'm old enough to remember these arguments, so it doesn't even faze me anymore.
Well, right.
I'm old enough. Yeah, go ahead.
Let me share this story.
Go ahead, please. I don't care. I mean,
this happened a couple of weeks ago. So, Sherry, I told you about this. I know I told you about this. I do basketball play-by-play for a school in Ashland, Virginia. It's north of Richmond. It's called Randolph-Macon. And person who started doing was my co-host on Going Nuclear, Madison. She played at Randolph-Macon on the women's basketball team, and her father is from Akron, actually Cuyahoga Falls. So she's become a Cleveland fan. Anyway, we're standing and talking at this alumni thing after the game, and the president of the college comes up. And somehow Cleveland came up, and he said, "Oh, I know the former owner of the Browns."
Randy
And she
Lerner?
and I looked at each other. He was up in Baltimore when the Browns moved there, became the Ravens. He knew and had spent time with Fart Modell. And
Mhm.
basically he started telling us stories that he's like, and he should be in the Hall of Fame. And Madison and I looked at each other and about jaw drop, right? And he's like, all the things he did for them. He did the TV rights and the blow me. And the funny thing is, like, all the stories and the things that he would say in public, I mean, he really believed them. He would go in private and say, well, they gave them a new stadium. They wouldn't give me a new stadium. They did this. They wouldn't do it. I'm like, dude, you were broke. You screwed the city.
He had to sell the team when he got to Baltimore anyway.
Right. Exactly.
After all that shit, he sold the team anyway. That's what
Yeah.
people don't remember, that he sold it to Biscotti. He kept 1% of that team.
Yep.
After that. Yeah. He had very, very minimal. It's just like, dude, I'm like, after all that bullshit, after all that crap.
Yeah. He should have just sold it in Cleveland, sold it to somebody else.
Sold it to Lerner. Sold it to Lerner. And then something would have been figured out.
It would have been. But yeah, I mean, long story short, we got a long way to go to the draft, guys. There's going to be a lot of smoke screen, a lot of stories.
Mhm.
We're going to see what happens this weekend. I think tomorrow will be the actual game at these, like, what is it? The Shrine Bowl,
Senior Bowl,
Shrine Bowl, wherever they're
it's
at.
usually the practices that does most of the evaluation when the coaches are there, which I love the fact that Stefanski and Barry are there.
Mhm.
I love it. I like the
That was
fact
cool.
that, to me, I'm getting the sense that, okay,
Boots on the ground is important. To see the little nuances instead of looking at film where you can't.
Where's Paul Deep?
He was there. He was there too.
What?
Yes. Yes, he
Deep
was.
Poop Desta was there?
Yes, he was. There's video of him.
Douche Podesta?
He was there. He was there. Yes, absolutely.
What's his name? Who's the guy that played him in Moneyball? What was that actor?
Jonah, or not? Is it Jonah Hill?
Jonah Hill, yeah, the fat dude. Yeah.
Now he's thin now.
He is thin. He is.
Ask me about my wiener.
Yes.
Different movie, but hilarious.
Different movie. Yes, very funny.
That was a very.
But he was there. He was in the wild. There is video of him.
I watched the video that the Browns put out, and again, it's obviously the Browns, but like they talked to the people who are scouts.
Yeah.
And it was like a little snippet, and they were talking about, well, what does it really involve? Well, we've been watching these guys for X amount of time, and we come down here now, we see them in person and stuff. But they've been scouting these guys for a year, for 2 years.
Damn it, Jerry! Sorry. I'll let you handle it.
Whatever you want to do. Gosh. Ugh.
The fat dude.
Ugh. Yeah, no. And so I do think that, like you said, Sherry, the fact that Stefanski is down there is a signal. And I mean, I know that he didn't have first round picks the past few years and really didn't have a chance or wasn't evaluating for quarterback. But if he's down there, yes, I have. Ooh, behave, baby.
Ethan, let me read. Has Ethan gotten the Mike Myers lookalike comparison before? Oh. Thank you, Steve. And the answer is correctamundo.
And I've also gotten the Mr. Bean.
Okay.
Wow, I must be doing something right because I get the Jason Statham.
Nice. You get much better than I do.
Yeah. Well,
do I make you horny? Do I?
No. Well, no, I don't. No, you don't. No, I told you that. I get the emails. I get the messages all the time. It's like, how do I live with being so handsome? And I tell them I make up for it by having an oversized ego. So, yeah.
That's one does.
I manage somehow. So
you do.
Yes, I make it happen. But I think what we're seeing by what the Browns are doing, I think it's like, okay, Haslam's like, yeah, I fucked up here. Take it. You fix it. I think that's really what it is. That's
no other way to. He's maturing in his close to 80.
I don't know how old Haslam is. I have no idea how old he is.
He's old.
Well, I mean,
he's very spry.
He's spry for a geriatric.
Yes. Sherry, you know how old my dad is?
How old is he?
80.
Nice.
Well, you're
That's-
calling my dad a geriatric. I'm not.
I
Oh, hey!
I call
let me
my
tell you about
dad
this
a
great medicine here. Hey.
My dad's gonna be 76 in April, and today my father-in-law turned 90.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's man.
Well, happy birthday to him.
Absolutely. God bless him too. I just the thing I say, man. I'm in my early 50s now, and I just live it. I'm enjoying life. That's because I think I enjoyed my 40s better than my 30s. I enjoyed my 30s better than my 20s. So I'm looking forward to my 50s because I think the older you get, the more your mind matures and you have a better appreciation for life. That's just where I'm at. So
I was
that's
thinking because you forget more. That's why it's more
Yes.
enjoyable because there's
Yes.
less
Right.
remembering
As
of
you
what
get
happened previously.
older, you can do things, and people are like, "Oh, they're old. They're old," and you're like,
They're
"Oh,
old.
I'm old. I
Nah.
forgot."
Yeah.
I'm
They don't
not
have a
I'm
lot
not
of
at
time left. Let them go.
yeah, well, I mean, yeah, watch old guys get flirty with young chicks. It's like, he's just old.
Oh, isn't he so cute?
Yeah. Hey, I could take out my teeth and rub up
Totally.
against you.
See, Steve and I,
Well,
we are on
right.
the same wavelength. Totally disagree with you, Lou, about the mind.
Okay.
I had this neighbor named Betty. She made $30 last night.
Did she? Good for her.
She did. Hey, here. Oh, you tell me if he gives you a problem, I'll smash his face in.
Is that what Dad says?
That's what my grandfather would say.
Steve, are you
Okay.
disagreeing with the Jason Statham stuff too?
No, I don't think he's
No, I'm
disagreeing
just
with
fucking with
that.
him, man. I'm just fucking with Steve Heinrich. Oh my God. I love it, guys. No, this is fun stuff. I was just saying that I just kind of like 1 week at a time, 1 day at a time. Because if you get riled up on this stuff, you're going to burn yourself out by the combine. I mean, it's really, he's laughing because that's really what. God, chill. I actually, if you noticed, I've been writing mostly Cavs and Buckeye stuff. I kind of took a break from the Browns. I'm going to start tomorrow. Just what I think they're going to do, and just on that. So we'll see.
Yeah, I think that the beautiful thing about having 3 professional franchises, is you can kind of go from one to the next. You can start getting interested in the college stuff. You can, it's nice that the Cavs have picked us up. I've jokingly said the Browns needed to thank both the Guardians and the Cavs because they were good. The Guardians were good at the beginning of the season, the Cavs at the end of the season. So we were kind of like distracted, except for a few weeks there. We were distracted with our other teams doing well.
Yeah.
That's funny. I love it. Thanks, Steve. It's just I'm laughing at what Steve wrote.
I know. I feel more mature as I get older too. Bring on the fart jokes. Come on, bring them.
Bring on the fart jokes. Well, no, actually, there was one. It was really weird. It was talking about what people consider art. Speaking of farting, like artsy fartsy stuff, and like there was like these displays. Like there was like a crucifix in a jar of urine. And there was like the statue of the Virgin Mary with elephant dung on it. And there was one. It was like it was kind of really gross. It was just bear with me, okay? It was a bloody tampon nailed to the wall. And it's considered art. Yeah, the artist
said the banana that was duct taped to the wall.
The artist said it was a period piece.
Sure it was.
See,
well,
there you go.
I'll leave you with this then. Grandpa, I heard you hit. This is seriously a story. We would ask my grandfather. So, Grandpa, I hear you hit like Babe Ruth. Oh, I fought like Babe Ruth.
I thought it was going to be a totally different joke when you first started that. I had no idea.
No.
Oh God. Okay. Oh, did you see that story real quick about the $50 million that was uncovered that was going to Palestinians for condoms?
It was the wrong Gaza.
Well, no. It was $50 million, but they said it was just for the condoms. The problem was the $50 million didn't just go to the condoms.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they needed rubber bands to keep them on.
Oh.
That one I wrote. That one I
Middle
wrote.
East bird.
There you go.
Eek.
And on that note, always remember. Oh, wait a second. Was that laughing at my joke?
Well, it is now.
It's not.
You could take credit for it.
I will take credit for it. Yeah. Oh yeah, last one. When you got Lizzo on a rascal scooter at Walmart, what do you call it?
What?
Ride or diabetes. So,
Ah.
oh yeah. Hey, why did the Avon lady walk funny?
Why?
Because her lipstick.
Oh.
Ooh.
Man.
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, I could keep going. Did I tell you about the time when you saw the honeymoon picture
Mhm,
with Christine and I were on horseback and everything? Well, we
mhm.
also spent time on our honeymoon at a nudist colony.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, my first day there was the hardest.
Ew.
Gross.
Very gross. Put somebody's eye out. Jeez. Oh. Okay.
Oh, boy.
Okay. Jeez. Boy, John's gonna have fun with this one.
Yes, he is.
All right, guys. Hey, thank you for joining us. We're going really long here, but always remember, when the river burns, it burns brown and orange. Thank you for joining us. Please, Fanatical Elves. Ethan, when's your show on? Let's plug it.
Actually, guys, we have a very special
Going nuclear.
episode of Going Nuclear on Monday. The voice of the Cavaliers, Tim Alcorn,
Awesome.
will be joining us Monday night, 7:00. Going Nuclear. Follow us on Fanatical Elves, a subsidiary of Fans First Sports Network. You can follow me on my Twitter handle at egreen4325. And then actually on Thursday, 7:00, we are planning a debut of the best doggone podcast in the land with our good friend Heather. Heather at
Heather,
Love
love Buckeyes. Heather. Okay, because there's several Heathers on that Twitter.
There are.
Yeah.
But yes,
it's so
Heather
funny. They're going to recreate the '80s movie Heathers, but it's been the Buckeyes.
That's funny.
Exactly. But yes. So Monday night, 7:00. Please tune in. We have a lot of great stuff to talk about with Tim Alcorn. And I've heard him on another podcast, and it's some great stories. And we're going to be talking some Cavs now. So Monday night, 7:00, and then Thursday night, the best doggone podcast in the land.
Awesome. Thank you. Sherry, your show, Breezy Brown's Talk.
Yep.
Wednesday at 9:00.
9:15.
She still refuses to put me on the show because she knows I'll just tell jokes the whole time. Anyway.
Didn't say that.
No, I'm kidding. No, I message her jokes when I do that. Because the last thing I was going to tell you, to try to increase my vocabulary, I like to read the dictionary, like before I go to sleep and I'm in bed. But I couldn't really get through it because, I didn't really finish it, but I did get up to pee. That was my last one. All right. Have a good night, folks.